everyone, welcome back to my channel. And hi for the first time if you're new here, my name's Cassie. Some of you may know, but one of my true and finest passions is skin. I used to work for, and still do occasionally, work for Clinique, and that's kind of where I learned a lot about skincare and treating different people's skin, observing their face and what their needs are. So ever since then, and even as a child, just skin as far as beauty goes really had an influence on me, and it was something I was very interested in. Blah blah blah. Why are we doing this video? So Gua Sha is a form of facial massage which uses a stone. So this is a Gua Sha stone. It's very smooth. You can see it's fairly translucent, so it's actually not very thick. You can buy them different widths, so different thickness or thinness. The thicker the stone is, the less abrasive it's going to be on your skin. So if you're a beginner at Gua Sha, you're probably going to want to use something that's a tiny bit thicker. And this is about 1/4 of an inch. So I would say from what I've seen, and I'm no expert at Gua Sha, but this is probably a general size, kind of an average width of a Gua Sha tool. Usually they will have a little bit of a divot on one end, and that is so, as I'm going to show you, you can really get into those areas that have a little bit more stress, under the jaw, up back here towards the ears, and it allows you to kind of work inside of the eye area as well. Really important when you're doing Gua Sha is that you're on clean skin. You can use these techniques, and I've seen other YouTube videos with body Gua Sha as well. So you can do your arms, you can do your legs. I typically do a little bit onto my neck and my chest, but that's about as extensive as I have gone with Gua Sha. So today I'm going to show what I've been doing. Well, I do get migraines, and so I found that this is really stress relieving for those times when I have migraines, either right at the back of the neck, the forehead, points of stress on the face and the body. So we're gonna get started. Today, before I did my Gua Sha routine, I decided to do a little bit of a treatment on my skin. So I used a beta hydroxy acid gel by Paula's Choice. This one's their Skin Perfecting 2% BHA gel. So that's why my face looks a little bit shiny right now. I left that on for about 20 minutes, a thicker layer than I normally do overnight. And this is gonna exfoliate my skin and prepare it for all of the wonderfulness it's about to receive. Now, normally when I do Gua Sha, this is a very relaxing time for me. I honestly do it when I'm lying in bed, or I do it with all of the lights off, candles burning. So it's very much a time to treat myself. I think that's really important, that you spend time doing things that are good for you and that also relax you. And this is one of those things for me that ticks off both of those boxes. So I find it really rewarding to do a few times a week. And you can make it as short or as long as you have time for. So it's very adaptable. That BHA gel is now removed from my skin, so my skin is nice and clean. A very vital step of using a Gua Sha tool is providing slip on the skin. You do not want to be tugging at your skin if you don't have enough moisture on it to use the Gua Sha tool on top. So obviously this is to help lift, firm, tighten the skin, and we don't want to be doing the opposite of that. So I'm going to be using a facial oil. You could use a cleansing oil if you had taken off the first layer of your makeup, and use this kind of as like a deep second cleanse. But I'm going to be using just a facial oil today. This is just the Trader Joe's Rose facial oil, and such a cute bottle. Has a little rose on the back. But any facial oil will do. I'm going to remove my ring because this can get a little messy. Okay, so I'm going to take a few pumps of that and put it into my hands, and then I'm pretty much going to put this everywhere. Now, don't be afraid to do this even if you have oily skin. After you finish your massage, you could always take off any excess oil. My skin's very dry, so I tend to leave this all on even after it's been massaged in and use it as like my overnight moisturizer. But if you had oily skin, you could still do this and leave nothing or just a little bit on overnight. There's the straighter edge, the rounder edge, the notch. So I'm going to start with the straighter edge here. We're just going to get some flowing movements in here, so this will easily glide on your skin and you might get a little bit flushed, but I'm going to start by pulling the skin up. So you can see my skin's getting a little bit pink here. Pulling the skin up towards the ear on one side. Ooh, the jaw is a place I love to stay for a while, so we'll come back there. But I want you to see how flushed the skin can get, and that's okay as long as you don't feel like you're pushing so hard. You really don't need that much pressure. Of course, you don't want to bruise yourself. You're just bringing some fresh blood to the surface of the skin with this gua sha technique, and really helping any pigmentation scarring on your skin to react a little bit more quickly and hopefully resolve itself a little bit more quickly. So coming close here, I had a pimple that was pretty large a while ago that was right here on the front of my cheek, and I've been working with massaging it. I feel like it's getting a lot better because I'm getting some work in those muscles. I'm gonna do one half of my face first, also to show the difference. So I'm working the cheek area still with that flat side. Then when I feel like that's good for the time being, I come up here on the forehead. Ooh, and the forehead feels so good. There's a lot less flesh under the skin of the forehead, so don't feel like you really have to go heavy on this area. You'll get a reaction pretty quick out of the color of the skin. But I'm going to pull up, so kind of helping to fight those horizontal lines you can get on your face. Pull up and back towards the hairline, so now we're starting to get some flesh here. Pull up. Oh, the temple feels really good. Up and back. And right here on the eyebrow, I like to take the curved side and kind of brush the eyebrow and kind of hold it up towards the top. And you're going to see the difference of the lift between the two sides of the faces. Honestly, it's crazy. And I know I don't have that mature of skin, but even the change in my skin is incredible between sides. So we're going to see that. I'm using the flat side now, just kind of brushing over. And then I'm going to take one of the notches. So being super gentle, I'm just going around the eye. You don't want to drag. You just want to circle around the orbit of the eye. You always want to drain in towards the eye. Helps with the wrinkle repair right here. You're not dragging. And you're also moving any lymph under the skin towards the lymph gland, which is in the inner corner of your eye. That's so relaxing. Okay, stop right there. Look at the difference in the two sides of my face. this side is way more lifted. This side, like, visibly is more lifted in my skin. I can tell a difference. It looks like this side is drooping compared to this side. So it really is incredible what this technique can do. You can do this at night, you can do it in the morning before a special event. You can do it in the middle of the day at work if you're stressed, so long as you don't have any makeup on. Then I like to go right here in my smile lines and kind of work there, and you'll feel the tissue that's harder under your skin that you're working, and you're just bringing some extra blood, extra nutrients basically to these areas. So there's that. Already you can see how much more plumped that side is. It's pretty crazy. And then I like to go over my lips, and those lines kind of on the outer side of the lips. It's like a little, oh yeah, natural lip plumping going on there. And then I'll bring it down here. Oh, this is one of my favorites. Along the jaw, I store a lot of stress in the jaw. A lot of people do. I find myself all the time inadvertently clenching a little bit. Even I'll wake up in the morning and be tight around there. So I like to really work that back area right there. And lift. And then I kind of go back here, up onto the ear, past that bone that connects the jaw to the ear. And then one of my, I can't get over how different that looks. I hope it shows. I like to take the notch, so I'm taking this area here. Oh, and you can hear stuff. But I'm going pretty gentle. I'm just pulling. You can see the skin. So you're hooking from under here, pulling back up into here. So obviously this area is sadly referred to as the jowls, which just sounds so foul to me. But a lot of people as they age start to gain like a little bit of a pouch right here below the cheek and on top of the jawbone. And this is helping to retrain the muscles a little bit to just work a little harder and massaging them to let go of any weight. So just hook and hook back there. And that really feels really good. And again, the difference between this side of my face and this side is crazy. And then I'll go down onto my neck and I'll kind of just do a little bit of a softer approach on the neck. The neck is very delicate. Your skin is extremely thin and you will get red very quickly on the neck. A couple of videos that I watched, professional like massage therapists doing this, and they got very bruised, the clients. Obviously they know what they're doing, but it would be a situation where you wouldn't want to go anywhere for a couple days because there's really just a lot of muscular stress in the neck. And this muscle here, when you kind of move your neck, that's sternocleidomastoid muscle. I remember that from biology, human bio. It has to do a lot of work. It's holding up your head all day, okay? And your head is not light. So because I'm on the computer and on my phone pretty much all day, this muscle really feels good to massage. And again, I'm pulling up. And then what I also will do is I'll take it just across my chest here, and I'm pulling out with the muscles, and you'll see you'll start to get a flush there pretty quickly as well, because again, that's very thin skin. And then I'll go just over the collarbone. You could even go over the collarbone a little bit with a light touch with the notch. I'm gonna go ahead and do the left side of my face, and I'll be right back, but I just want to show, I mean, the difference, and I hope the camera is really able to show that. Like, I feel the difference in the lift of my skin between the two is quite a bit different, and the texture and the tone of this, I mean, it feels internally really good, but I feel like it looks really good too compared to the other side. So let me go ahead and gua sha the other side of my face, and I'll be back. I have finished the left side of my face now, and I feel very balanced and peppy. It really does make such a huge difference, and it feels, it's really hard to describe unless you've tried it, because I got this, like I said, from my sister-in-law, and she tried it before I did, and she kept saying that it just felt so good that she didn't want to stop. And it's so true, because it makes the areas that you do the gua sha facial massage on, it makes them feel almost like they lost weight. That's such a weird analogy, but it really does make your skin and your muscles feel lighter and just feel extremely relaxed, like they just let go, like they've been holding and holding and holding, and now they just let go. So I highly encourage you to try this. You can purchase these in all different stores. Try to find one that's ethically made and that's made with actual stone. I think that's important, but I highly recommend this. This you can keep forever. You don't have to buy a new one. It is not going to get gross. I will recommend that you wash this after, just because it gets super oily, but I keep mine in just like a little dish that I have next to my bed, because that is where I do this most of the time. But that is gua sha, guys. So I, like I said, have very dehydrated and dry skin, so I would leave my oil on, but you're welcome to take off the excess. You will have a little bit of excess, but a lot of it did get worked into the skin. And actually for me, I will apply a heavier moisturizer on top of this to kind of seal in all the goodness. So I'm gonna actually apply the Radically Rejuvenating Whipped Night Cream by Acure, and this is a peptide ferulic acid and vitamin C moisturizer that's perfect for me for overnight. So I'm just gonna take this, and I have the most wonderful canvas now to receive nutrients. This would be a great time to apply a mask to your skin and let it sit. This would be a great time to apply a bedtime retinol, or maybe a glycolic acid, some sort of treatment. But does that feel good or what? So that is gua sha, guys. I hope that was informative and that you got something out of it and that you potentially try it. I would highly recommend it. I feel like I'm ready for bed now. So thank you for watching, and be well. Please hit subscribe, and feel free to check out my blog as well as my Instagram, and all the links will be down below. Thanks, guys. Have a great night.